Hi, I'm here with Reese Arrowsmith, Vice President and Head of Legal Operations for Campbell Soup. We're at the ACC's Legal Operations Conference in Chicago. Reese, wanted to talk to you about measuring success in legal operations within a firm and more broadly. First, sort of how you look at the infiltration of legal operations across in-house counsels. How do you measure its growth, its success in spreading across companies?
Yeah, there has been an enormous growth over the last 10 years. You know, I've been doing this for 20 years, and when I started, there were a handful of people in true ops roles in-house where they were driving strategy for their companies. In the last 5 years or so, it has just gone off the charts. At least half of the companies probably have them at this point. So we're seeing huge changes. The problem is, how do we measure and value success? I mean, at the ACC Legal Ops Conference just this morning, we had a collaboration session between law firm P3, law firm pricing people from P3, and in-house people. And one of the things we talked about was, how do you measure outcomes and success? How do we get past this? And you understand how complicated it is because each individual company has different drivers behind it. One of the things I talked about was in almost 15 years of doing corporate legal consulting with one of my clients, one of the companies I worked with, we actually we had a block of matters which were very similar. And we looked at min, max, and average outside counsel spend, min, max, and average outcome, settlement costs, and then min, max, and average total case cost by firm and geography. Again, similar block of work across the company, nearly 1,000 matters. And there was a stark difference between the results, the total case cost of one firm versus another, and we set out on a path to actually start engaging the firms that were getting us better total case cost. I mean, that even though people aren't doing that yet, that's the kind of thing we need to challenge the mindset to start doing. It gets more complicated when each individual company only has one or two matters of a particular type, and figuring out how to define what a win is on that matter. But as we, legal ops professionals, continue to experiment and then come to conferences like the ACC conference and share that information, we're all going to learn from each other and be able to figure this out over the long run.
You also talked about win rates. Is that the other key metric?
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of coined it as win rates. I don't know if other people kind of refer to it as that, but I just generally say, what are the win rates? How are we going to capture these? And it's really outcomes.
And I mean, what is the outcome? I mean, this morning there was talk about, well, what if you have a great victory, a trial that's you thought you'd take 3 weeks, takes 2 days, and the company says, well, why are we getting charged so much if it only lasted 2 days a trial? How do you find the right metric that resonates with your company as a whole?
Yeah, I think the key is the communication up front, and that's one of the things we're really focused on, specifically at Campbell's. We do have matters like that where we've got alternative fee arrangements and fee arrangements that are not traditional to the hourly rate, where potentially there are incentives to the firm to either get us a better result or whatever the case may be. And having those conversations with the business leads and the finance leads up front to make sure everyone's on the same page so we don't end up with those surprises.
It seems as if this is a maturing area, legal operations. I mean, how do you see it evolving going forward?
Yeah, there is no doubt that legal ops professionals, their role has expanded. It's not just, even 10 years ago, it was, we need to have an outside counsel management program. We need the head of ops to be responsible for technology. And it's turning into that chief of staff driving strategy, having your finger on the pulse of all of the risk that is coming through the legal department, and collaborating with the general counsel and the senior leadership team on how to best mitigate that risk using all the resources you have, whether it be the internal resources, outside counsel resources, or money at the end of the day.
Well, Reese, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Very good. Thank you so much.